This list is based purely off of looks. We're just gonna hop right in. So number 1, the Amakumo fruit. I mean, this thing just looks scrumptious. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. I mean, it doesn't look like, you know, maybe this bottom part is not as good. So I'm gonna start off already strong with an S tier unit right here. I mean, it just looks delicious. Like, I can't say much more. I am gonna be including core lapis because although it's most likely not edible, it looks yummy. Okay, and that's all we're looking for here. So this thing, I think we're gonna be putting it in like C tier. Looks like it might have a nice like orange flavor to it. I think it would be, you know, it looks yummy, and that's all that matters. Similarly, the crystal marrow. Let's be honest, like this thing, I mean, these two items are just like, they just look like candy that you would get like on Halloween. And like, I mean, they just look like, look at this thing, like it just looks edible. You can't tell me it doesn't look like you could just crunch it up and it would be tasty. Like, next up, this is actually surprising because, I mean, like, if you really look at this thing, like, it's a mushroom, you know? Who likes mushrooms? But it's nice and watery. Like, honestly, I might have to put this thing in B tier just because it looks somewhat delectable. I'll be honest. I bet, like, if it tastes like a mushroom, that's a downside, you know? But I feel like it would just taste really, really, like, vibrant and full of life, you know? It's gotta be somewhat good. This thing, I have a feeling that this just has to be so good. Like, there's just no way. I mean, because this thing just looks like, you know, whenever a plant or something has like spikes on it or protection, it just tastes so good. Like a pineapple, or like a pineapple. And for that reason, it's going A tier because that's kind of like where pineapples are at, if we're being honest with ourselves. And it just looks like an A tier kind of being, you know. I bet it's really yummy though. And next up, this thing, the Juyun chili. I mean, this thing has got to be delicious. There's just no way around it. I mean, it just grew, like, look at this shine, this nice shininess that it has on it. I mean, that's probably just an easy S tier for me. Like, I mean, personally, that is just, you know, it's very delectable looking, same as with this thing. So I think S tier works the best for it. And next up, this lotus. It's honestly, it looks edible, but does not look that tasty. I'm gonna be honest. It looks like a sponge. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be our lowest tier so far, E tier. Enough said. This thing just does not look that tasty. And next up, we got the Philanemo mushroom. And this, you know, surprisingly, no, unsurprisingly, is gonna be our first F tier. That thing just looks disgusting. Like, you cannot, even if you like mushrooms, I mean, this thing has bird feathers on it. Like, you are not enjoying that if you eat it. Like, that is disgusting. And then next up, oh my god, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Tell me those don't look like Tide Pods right there, dude. I mean, they just look like you could just bite into them and they would just like, they would be like gushers in your mouth. It would just, that's just an easy triple S tier. Like, for the same reason that I would rate Tide Pods on an edible looking tier list, S tier. These things are just just different. Look at them. Oh my god. I could look at these things all day. They're just so divine looking. Like, but we have to move on. The small lamp grass. Oh my god. These things look like kind of like grapes, where you can just take a nice like chomp out of this thing, and you just, or like a strawberry. It's more like a strawberry because you really just don't want this top part here. And for that reason, I mean, look at that. Like, it's glowing on the inside. I bet that has to taste so good. It's probably like divine energy that makes it glow. So like, I mean, I'm gonna have to put that S tier. It just looks too good. Next up, the Valberry. This one's pretty easy. It's pretty basic. It's just like a red blueberry. And for that reason, I think it's a pretty easy A tier, just because they're probably really easy to eat, and they're also probably like, they're good, you know, but they're not like this, you know, like you gotta know what it tastes like. Like, oh my god. Okay, let's move on. The wolf hook, another one that is similar to the pineapple or whatever the heck this thing was called. And I think I'm also gonna place this A tier, just because this looks so much more dangerous than like a pineapple or anything. I mean, that just looks terrifying. In fact, actually, I'm gonna put a B tier, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is just the shell and the inside is way softer and edible, but I feel like those spikes are just like terrifying. This looks like a spore creature, you know? But anyway, I have one fish in this list, and it's this thing, because you can't tell me that doesn't look good. You know, if I were to fry this up, I mean, who wouldn't eat that? I think that's a pretty easy A tier right there. Enough said, to be honest. And then we've got this thing, and apparently it's a form of nut. So if it was a fruit, I feel like it would be higher, but oh, actually it says a fruit that grows. Okay, so they just lied. They just lied. The flesh under the tough skin is thick, sweet, and delicious. Okay, so now I know it's a fruit. Probably like a banana, but like not quite. It's probably like an apple mixed with a banana. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to stick with A tier. I was thinking about S tier, but kind of just shouting A tier. It doesn't look super delicious. Maybe if we saw the inside, like, I could rate it higher, but and then we've got the common berry. And to be honest, this just looks like a raspberry, which is one of my favorite fruits, but like worse. For that reason, I'm just gonna put a D tier. It just looks unripe. Like, it just does not, that does not sit well with me. It's kind of like the yellow stuff, you know? Got an order of operations going here with blue and red and pink and purple. But anyway, we're closing in here. And then we've got eel meat. I decided to include this because not many people eat eel meat in real life. I certainly haven't. So I'm just gonna put it in. It looks okay, you know, like B tier, like edible, and you know, maybe you would want to eat it after you've tried it and decided that it's good, but I don't think, I would not choose it over, you know, any of these things, to be honest. And then we've got this thing, which is a fruit, and I swear this must be just like a pineapple, but it's also very similar to this thing, I feel like. But I feel like it looks slightly better, and for that reason I'm putting this S tier, because I mean, I'm just liking this orangish stuff going on down here. It's gotta be, that's gotta be juicy. Like, It's just gotta be. Lavender melon. Now, you might call me crazy, but this thing is just horrible. Like this is gonna be our second F tier. Like, it doesn't look horrible. It looks pretty bad, actually, if you think about it. But the important part is the description. The flesh within transforms into food with a unique mouthfeel when cooked. Unique? That just means bad. That's just code word for bad. Nobody wants unique, you know? We want good, okay? So that's an easy F tier in my opinion. Next up, the lotus head. This is aquatic. I feel like you're not supposed to eat this, but it's kind of like this thing where that just looks yummy. It looks like a kiwi or a lemon or a lime. I mean, it's looking pretty good, honestly. I'm gonna stick it in A tier right here. That seems good, reasonable. And next up, I mean, do we really have to kid ourselves? This thing looks just absolutely abhorrent. It looks disgusting. It looks vile and putrid. And nobody in their right mind would want to eat that. Okay, moving on. I also included mysterious meat in addition to eel meat because I feel like, honestly, this might be good. I don't know. I might sound crazy, but I'm putting it in C tier because I don't know. It might be good, it might not be. I don't know. I have to see how it looks after you cook it up, you know? Like, what is he cooking? But anyway, we can move on from that. Oh my god, don't even get me started on this thing. This right here. Oh my god, look at this peach. Okay? And secondarily, a calming effect on the mind. Okay? Need I say more? Look at that. I mean, that is just... Oh, oh, I don't have words. I'm speechless with this one, really. Now, the crystal core. Tell me that doesn't taste like a lollipop. I just know it does. I just have this internal feeling that this thing just tastes so good. And you can just like use it as like gum, but not gum. It's just a lollipop. Like you just sit it in your mouth for like hours. And it's just like, it's like sugar. Look at it. It has to be sugar. Anyway, lizard tail. I'll be honest, I biased a lot towards the stuff that looked better, more edible. But I did include some stuff that just looks disgusting. I'm gonna put this in the middle of B and E because I can't decide, and it looks horrible, but looks can be deceiving. Let's be honest with ourselves, guys. Now the electro crystal. Similarly, I mean, this just has to be like this, the crystal core, but it's got to be like pop rocks, you know? I feel like, honestly, I don't know. I'm actually gonna move this down here, and I'm gonna put this in S tier because that seems more reasonable. Yeah, that does seem more reasonable because I feel like that like they're similar, but this is like normal, like neutral flavor, and this would be like sparking, like zapping your mouth in a good way, in a yummy type of way, you know? I also included the flaming flower stamen. Now, I feel like this honestly would not be that good. I just included it because it looks kind of yummy. but at the end of the day, it's from a flower. So like, if you've ever tasted like a flower or a leaf in real life, it's just not that good. And then last but not least, I included a piece of wood because, you know, it's just a piece of wood, but look at it. Look at it, it's just like, oh my god, tell me you couldn't chomp into that thing. I feel like this is similar thoughts to like the Tide Pods. That thing just looks so edible. I can't, I mean, because it looks like a pear. And I know it's wood. But you can't tell me that it does not look good. Because it does. It does look good. It looks amazing. Okay? So here's the list of all the materials. This stuff. This stuff, I only include one fish. If you see anything that you think is yummy, leave a comment, because I included all the yummiest looking stuff, in my honest opinion. Don't go ahead and tell me you're gonna be eating, you know, a frog, because I'm not gonna believe you, quite frankly. And again, I did not include like the easy stuff, like the sausage, the bacon, and I also kind of want to do a cooking, like a food tier list. But I'm happy with this for right now. This seems reasonable. Completely reasonable. I don't know. I don't really think I want to switch anything around. I think I'm happy with this. Yeah. So anyway, if you enjoyed watching, leave a like, subscribe. I would appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video.